Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Okay, that kind of sounded weird.
What sounded weird?
I never know what to say after you say Happy Wednesday. I'm like, what do I say? I'm just
Who knows? You know, we don't have a script, so.
yeah, except for
I
that. Yeah, just that beginning part, and then the rest is like, whatever.
One day it just came to me, and then it just stuck. So,
yeah.
Who knows?
See, I need something that can just stick with our little intro, but we'll get there.
Figure it out. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
And happy Women's History Month.
Yay.
Shout out to all women out there.
Shout out to us.
Yay, us. Women.
Yes.
We love it. We love to see it. It's March, and that's really unbelievable to me.
I know.
Like how?
Our second March.
Second March. I just don't understand. Oh, also, happy freaking Mardi Gras / Fat Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Except that was yesterday, but happy anyways.
But, you know, it's fine. I want to go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
I know. I feel like that would be amazing.
Okay. Do you know how you get bead necklaces?
What do you mean?
Well, because I just learned.
Okay, tell me.
You flash people. I did not know that.
Is that the only way?
I don't know.
That can't be the only way you get them.
I don't know. That's what I heard. So, I don't know. When I found that out, I was like, are you for real? And I think it is true. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to go to New Orleans and see for ourselves.
Right. Okay. Definitely on the bucket list. Especially 100%. Since my story this week is actually from New Orleans.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
I didn't actually. Like, we just realized that this was going to be like the day after Mardi Gras, so.
Crazy. Literally crazy. But before you get into your story, I have a quick little story about my life.
Okay.
That's a little bit of a mystery, if I have to say so myself.
Okay.
So, this morning, I went just to let my cats outside because they love Juju and Poe. They're bougie. They love inside, but they also love being outside. So, they go outside every day. And so I went to let them outside, and when I did, I heard just the weirdest noise that is not normally going on outside. I heard what sounded like about hundreds of birds just screaming at the top of their lungs. And I was like, what is going on? But I didn't really investigate it because I was like, nah, I gotta work. So went back, continued my day, and then, midday I was like, I need some coffee. So I was about to leave my house. I opened my front door to go get coffee, and I see in my yard, and only my yard, hundreds of blackbirds.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay, that has to be a bad omen. And they were literally not in anybody else's yard. And so I was like, what is going on? So at first my thoughts are like, okay, birds aren't real, and it's the government spying on me. They've heard our podcast and they're coming for me. Right. Finally, this is my time. But then I was like, no, maybe it's like a migration type deal, I live at the beach, like, who knows? Maybe there's something. So I asked my bird expert friends if there was any bird migrations at this time of the year normally, and they said, don't quote me on this, quote my bird expert friends, but they said that black crows don't migrate. So that didn't really make me feel any better about the situation.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and they're still out there screaming, so I don't know what these birds are doing, and I don't like it, really.
Okay, did they have any other idea of why there would be a whole flock of birds?
No.
Okay.
No, they didn't.
Well, I do want to add to this because during my lunch break today, I went to this park that I usually go to for lunch, and then I was just sitting in my car, and a bunch of birds, like the same type of birds, like this is really creepy, the same type of birds were all in front of my car.
Like, what is going on with these birds?
Like, that's just really weird that it happened to both of us.
Yeah, in the same day. And I'm just like, okay, is it the birds? I mean, not the birds. Is it the government?
Right, like maybe you're onto something with
I
that.
know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, birds, if you're listening.
Stop.
Yeah, please. Stop surveilling me and
Right.
leave my house. So yeah, maybe I'll have an update eventually on the birds, but as of right now they're like still chilling here, screaming.
Maybe we'll have more encounters. I hope
I
not.
hope not. I really hope not. Birds kind of scare me sometimes.
Have you ever watched that movie, The Birds?
No.
Oh my god. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's like a really old movie, like it's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just what it sounds like. It's about birds. It's like these two like main characters, I don't know, and then like this whole city is just being attacked by birds.
Oh,
And like you
okay,
can't even
me.
go outside or
Okay,
they'll
no.
just attack you.
See, that's horrifying. That's what I imagined me going outside for coffee today, but they didn't attack me. Thank
Yeah.
goodness. At least they haven't attacked me yet. So I'm gonna knock on some wood for that one. But yeah, just have to get my bird story out there. Let me know if
Yeah.
you guys have some weird bird stories. Who knows?
Okay, well, mine doesn't have anything to do with birds, so we're gonna move on from that.
Yes.
So we are making our way down to New Orleans for this one,
Yes.
like I
our
said before.
fave place.
There's really like so many spooky things going on down there. Like,
Like it's like the most
We-
spooky city ever.
yeah, like we need to cover more stuff from down there.
Definitely.
But, okay, so this week I have a creature,
Ooh, a creature.
/ creatures, the Grunch.
The Grunch. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Not the Grinch.
Okay, I was gonna say. I love the Grinch.
Yeah, definitely a different thing. Not Christmas at all. So, yeah, I kept like whenever I was typing my notes for this, I kept typing Grinch by accident. I was like,
Yeah, the I is right next to the U, isn't it?
yeah, I was like slipping up, but yeah, not related at all. Okay. People actually say this is related to the chupacabra.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so they say that the Grunch lives off of Grunch Road in Louisiana. Of course. I don't think it's actually called that anymore, but that's what it was called.
Oh.
And it's like it was an old dirt road that leads into the woods, so like this really creepy road, you
So
know.
creepy.
Of course.
Of course, Grunch Road.
Yeah. It's so funny. But it's not funny because the Grunch is pretty creepy. But it's like a dead end road too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
The worst kind.
And teenagers would like drive up there and do teenager things, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously with like parties and stuff, shenanigans.
Yes.
And then, you know, word gets out that the Grunch is down there, so then that like sort of scares them away. But I
Not
think
the
they still
Grunch.
go down there.
If somebody told me the Grunch was somewhere, I would probably avoid it too. And I don't
Right.
even know who the Grunch is. Just the name itself. Don't sound good.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you who he is. So the story of the Grunch like has sort of been around forever down there, like since the Louisiana Purchase. So
Oh, wow.
like 1800s, I think. So yeah, people have been talking about a creature in that area for that long. And most stories say that it's off of Grunch Road, so that's what I started out with. Back in the old days, you know, when New Orleans was still a new city, it was a dirt road. I think it's since been paved, and like you probably can't even tell what road it is because it's called something else now.
Mm-hmm.
But this road, it was like a dead end, has woods surrounding it, so it's like super creepy, especially at night. And see, this is where it gets, the story is like a little bit problematic in some
no.
ways, but we have to, you know, I feel like all old stories sort of are in a way.
100%.
So the story goes that people like who were rejected from society at the time,
Mm-hmm.
so like deformed people or like
Oh, no.
just people who like wouldn't fit in, they were rejected and they went to live back there
Oh,
off of Grunch Road.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So that's just the story. I mean, we're just going with what the story is.
Yeah.
So they, like, these people were, like, said to be, like, creations of the devil, which is, like, really awful.
Lord.
I know. And it gets even worse.
Good.
It's, the story goes that, like, over time, this group inbred with each other because they didn't, like, leave that area to be with other people. They were, like, made their own society almost. And then the descendants became the creatures known as the Grunch.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that is a little bit problematic, but it's the Grunch.
It's pretty bad. There is, like, another origin story that I'll get to, but this is this one. So yeah, and actually the road was named Grunch Road after the story. So it wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, the creatures were named before the road.
I want to know who named them Grunch and why.
Right. Like, I think it's just like a word that sounds like a weird creature.
It does. It really does sound like a horrible word. Like, I hear Grunch, automatically knew it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah. I know, but I don't really know who came up with it. There wasn't really anything on that, but that would be cool to find out. And according to legend, it was like, it was actually forgotten for many years until farm animals began disappearing and people were blaming the Grunch for taking them.
Just like the chupacabra.
Yeah. And actually, see, the stories get a little bit confusing because there's sort of two different versions. Like, this version is, like, the really problematic and weird one.
Yeah.
And then the one I'll tell in after this is the one that's related to the chupacabra.
Oh, okay. You know what's interesting is the chupacabra also had two different versions.
Oh, see, maybe they both are then.
Yeah, maybe it's all the same thing. The Grunch and the chupacabra. Things to consider.
See, okay, you probably remember the chupacabra story better than I do.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So this one, okay, I'm sorry, I'm, like, lost a little bit. All right.
Oh, you're good.
A different variation of, like, this legend says that the people who went off into the woods, they did not inbreed, and, like, the descendants were the Grunch. Like, that's not the story, but they actually sold their souls to the devil to have a protector.
Oh, okay.
So this is, like, still the story of, like, oh, they all went out into the woods, but
so the outcasts, but
they, like, got the devil to, like, get them somebody.
Got it.
So the Grunch came to protect them.
So the devil gave them the Grunch.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So those are, I like that version way better than the other one.
Far better.
Like, not as, like,
not as problematic.
Awful.
Still problematic, but not as bad.
Yeah. And in this story, they would sacrifice different animals to the Grunch as, like, a protector. So that's why, like, they would blame farm animals going missing. Like, that's what they would blame it on. Like, oh, the Grunch ate it. You know?
Of course he did. Yeah.
And people also say that if you travel down Grunch Road, you might see an injured goat.
Oh, no.
But you need to stay in your car and drive away and not go out to help it. Which is, like,
that's so
would
sad.
I even, like, help a goat, though? You know?
I mean...
Like, if you're in this situation, I see a goat on the side of the road, I would not even think of stopping. But, like, all the things I saw, they were like, do not stop. I'm like, would anybody stop? I guess people would. Am I just awful?
I don't know. I feel like it would just depend on how fast I was driving down Grunch Road.
Yeah, true.
Like, because, like, would I even notice the goat is what I'm thinking to myself.
Yeah.
Or, like, would I already think that it was, dead? That's what I think of. So I would probably say I would not help the goat regardless, even though that's bad.
See, that's what I was saying too. But people say you shouldn't, because this is the way of the Grunch luring you in.
Oh.
So then they can take you for the sacrifice.
Well, good thing they won't get us anyway. We're not good people.
Exactly. Like, See, sometimes it's good to be like not a good
Okay,
person.
we are not promoting being bad on this podcast.
No, okay, we're joking.
Maybe.
No, yeah. So, and also it's kind of confusing because this story says that the Grunch actually looks like a half man, half goat,
Oh.
which is like, I don't know. I've seen so many different things like saying how the Grunch looks because, I mean, I said it's supposed to be related to the Chupacabra.
Yeah.
So there's a version that looks like one, like more like a dog type thing. But then this version that I saw first was like, oh, actually, it looks like a goat. I'm like, what?
So what is it? What's the
So I don't really know, actually. So yeah, that version of the story is like, I don't like it as much, so I thought I would say it at first just to get out of the way, and then we'll go into the one that I do like.
For sure.
So this one involves Marie Laveau.
Oh, okay. We love a voodoo queen.
Yes. So we have not covered her yet. But we know Marie Laveau.
For sure.
The way I just like messed up her name. Marie Laveau. If you've seen American Horror Story,
Yes.
she's on there.
Yes. Or if you've been to New Orleans, honestly, you've definitely heard of her.
Yeah, like we have to go through her history a little bit more because I think that would be a fun one to do.
We definitely do.
But yeah, she's a voodoo queen, just like Taylor just said.
Yeah.
And she has something to do with the Grunch.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So she was a practitioner in the 1800s. And this is when the Grunch stories sort of started popping up. So coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. So this story also has to do with the devil baby.
The devil baby.
Which I didn't really know anything about, and I started like reading into it, and I'm like, this is also like a whole story. So I'm like, I'm covering like 3 stories in one,
here,
but I think I might have to go back to this because
I'm definitely trying to hear more about the devil baby. So table that one for later.
I know, like I have a little bit, just to give you an idea. It's like sort of related to the Jersey Devil.
Oh,
like similar origin. Because if you remember that story, which that was in our 2nd episode, so a long time ago.
Oh, I remember it, though. I do remember it.
Yeah. The Jersey Devil was born a devil baby.
Yes.
Basically, you know? So similar type thing.
Yeah.
And the baby apparently roamed the streets of New Orleans since 1799.
Just a baby roaming the streets.
Yeah. A little bit of the background for how this baby was born. It's said that the mother of this baby wanted a son for her husband because she already had like 2 daughters, and the husband's like, give me a son.
Of course.
Which, yeah, stupid.
Yeah, it's Women's History Month. Husbands.
Right, exactly.
Want girls.
But to get a son, she went to the voodoo priestess, of course, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And asked to have a son, and she gave her one, but cursed him.
It was the devil baby.
Yeah.
No.
She cursed him because the voodoo priestess, she did not like the woman's husband.
Well, as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my God, I forgot about this. He was born on Mardi Gras.
No way. Okay, Savannah. You can't convince me you didn't do this on purpose.
His birthday was yesterday, guys.
That's so strange.
It really is. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. Okay. But yeah, I'll save the rest of the story for like when I cover this one.
Okay.
But yeah, just that's the origin of this devil baby. And let's get back to the Grunch. So Marie Laveau, she somehow got a hold of this devil baby.
No.
And she didn't want him to be able to reproduce.
Yeah, that's smart.
So she of course castrated him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it. Like, obviously, if you don't know what that is, look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this backfired on her.
Yeah.
Um,
As I would imagine if you castrated a devil baby,
yeah.
you know.
But I don't think you'll guess what happened, though.
No.
The part that she cut off turned into a male and female creature, like two different creatures.
What? Okay. I mean, I guess anything's possible when you're a devil baby.
Yeah, it grew into two creatures. So there were just two grunches.
Okay.
And they attacked her.
No.
And almost killed her.
Okay.
So.
But didn't.
Yeah. No, she was fine. She did pass out. And then when she woke up, they were gone.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
So,
Hmm.
yeah. So then I guess they just went out into the woods or something. They like just escaped into New Orleans.
Yeah, they ran away.
And now it's known that like anybody who's bitten by the baby devil will turn into a Grunch during the full moon.
Oh. Okay, so that's how we got there. Got it.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
like werewolf vibes there.
Yeah.
But yeah, also the fact that there's a male and a female Grunch out there, they like reproduce. So like now there's a bunch of them.
Baby grunches. Oh my goodness.
So that's how Grunches were formed.
That's the lesson of how baby grunches are made, kids.
Yeah. Basically. That way, and also if you're bitten by the baby devil.
Yeah, of course.
So, two different ways. So yeah, very much werewolf vibes in that sense.
We love a good werewolf vibe.
So I'm gonna get into some of the characteristics of the Grunch. So you can sort of imagine him.
Him or her.
Yeah, you're right. So the Grunch, they have human-like capabilities. Like they can open doors and use tools.
Ew. Okay, that's weird.
Just immediately ew.
Just disgusting. Humans disgusting.
Yeah. No, they're sort of like a primate or like a primitive human.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh, but they can also phase through walls.
Okay, Flash. Okay, Barry Allen.
Yeah, so they can phase through walls and also open doors. So it's like they sort of cancel each other out, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't really need to do both.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Why would you open it if you could just walk right through it?
Right. Like I don't think I would.
I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah. They also have like a wolf-like howl, which is also described as like a banshee scream or a screech.
Okay. Hate that.
They can speak in a low growl.
Like,
which is like,
English?
I'm trying to imagine. I think so.
Ew.
I think that's what it means.
Hello.
But it's like, how do you speak in a low growl?
That was my low growl. If you heard it, my voice honestly couldn't even do it. So
Wait, try it again.
hello. See, it literally can't do it. It like is not possible. So.
Yeah, it's definitely something like that.
That's
though.
just proof to you guys that I'm not a Grunch.
Right. I can't even attempt it. So. They also smell really bad. It's apparently the same as Bigfoot because he's reported to be smelly too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they live in the woods. What can we expect?
Yeah, honestly, that's true. Like, it probably just smells like any creature that lives in the woods. And some say that he has long fur. I keep saying he because some stories say, like, there's only one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Grunch, they have, like, long fur and black silky coats with gray spots.
Oh, sounds pretty. That's the only part that sounds pretty.
Okay, if I show you a picture, though, you're going to be like, that's not pretty.
Yeah, you're right.
Sort of imagine the chupacabra, though.
Okay, I'm picturing it. I'm kind of just in my head just imagining a werewolf.
Yeah, honestly, it's very similar to that.
Yeah, it's kind of all the same.
But then, of course, as I said earlier, other people say that he's half man, half goat.
Yes.
So, like, very different imagery.
Narnia vibes.
It's like, I don't really understand why it's such a big difference, but,
Well, see, I was thinking about that too, but since there are multiple Grunches, I would just assume that they all look kind of different. Humans look different.
Could be.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe that's just like the name of like two separate kinds of creatures.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, like the half man, half goat one, like is not as scary to me.
No, absolutely not. I just think about Narnia.
Exactly, yeah. And it's the kind where like the legs are the goat. They have it.
Mm-hmm. Like upper torso human, bottom goat.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So yeah, I would hope that it would look like that if I ever saw one.
Same. I would never want to see one though, but same.
So actually, the next thing I have is sightings. So it's
Good.
pretty cool. There were like a lot of sightings in the 1800s, when this first started to be like a thing. And then it was like pretty steady, and then it dropped off in the 1980s for some reason.
Interesting.
So people just like were not reporting it. And then it came back, like the sightings came back in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina,
Huh.
which is really weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, you have nothing
Like,
to say about it.
I'm just thinking, like, did Katrina, like, bring him out of the woodworks? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
see, that's actually the theory that people have.
I mean, it makes sense because, you know, also they say, like, animals, like, know, like, something bad is coming. So, like, maybe they felt it.
Yeah, people say that Hurricane Katrina flushed them out of their habitat and they began living in neighborhoods again instead of the woods.
Makes sense to me.
Or I guess still like in the woods, but they would like come out and like,
Yeah.
you know, come and see people.
Yeah, just give him a friendly little visit.
Yeah. There was one woman who claimed to see a Grunch eating her neighbor's dog.
Oh, good. That's really good.
Just getting right into it there. And this one's not as harmful. People have seen Grunches like knocking over trash cans or chasing trucks.
Okay, why do they just really sound like dogs?
Right. Honestly,
now.
like dogs are like a raccoon or something. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Do you think the Grunch is real?
I mean,
Or, you know.
I just feel like it's weird that it was like, it's so old. It's so old of a story, you know?
Yeah.
That makes me believe that some part of it is probably true.
And when you bring voodoo into it, like it has to be like if you believe in voodoo or not.
I mean,
that has definitely
for
something
sure.
to do with it.
That, I do. I'm going to say that I do think that the Grunch is real. Do you think the Grunch is real?
You know, I really don't know.
I mean, me neither.
Because also, like, the two different origin stories, I'm like, I don't know which one I would believe more either.
I know, but then I just think back to the Chupacabra, which is like the same thing, first of all. And then it also had two, like, origin stories. And I'm just like, I feel like it's real because I believe that I can't say that the Grunch isn't real if I believe the Chupacabra is real.
Yeah,
I feel
honestly,
like.
you're right. You're right.
So,
But I just want to go on the record and say, like, I don't want it to be real.
oh, I mean, no, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be real either.
Because, like, it's creepy looking and it can apparently go through walls. Like,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
No, absolutely not. I am very excited to see a picture of the Grunch. Definitely check out our Instagram for that because, I mean, obviously it's not going to be a real picture.
I was just thinking that same thing. I was like, it's definitely a rendition. But,
Yeah. If it was a real Grunch picture, we would be much, well, maybe I was going to say richer, but, you know, maybe not.
yeah, people would probably not believe it.
They would not believe us. No, they would be like, y'all really made that up.
Right.
And they would probably be right. So,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. You know, oh my goodness. Almost just knocked everything over. Sorry for everyone listening.
You're doing your cat's job.
I know. They're not with me. Well, they're outside of my room today. So
Yeah. They're
They're
usually
off the
the ones
clock.
who mess up your stuff.
yeah, normally, but today it's me. Today, you know what? It's been off. Man, it's been so off for me.
I know. Yeah.
Can't even lie. This is like our third recording. So
Yeah.
we're getting through it, you know. I also, okay, before we move on, I just can't stop thinking about the Grinch. And I also just low-key feel like the Grinch and the Grunch kind of have similar stories if you think about it.
Yeah, honestly.
Because the Grinch was an outcast.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
Oh my god.
He lives up on the mountain.
Maybe Dr. Seuss like saw the story of the Grunch and he's like, let me just
Maybe.
put this into my story.
Like, really seriously, maybe. Like I was sitting there thinking about it the whole time. Like they kind of are similar in a way. Something to think about, Dr. Seuss. Let me know from the cave if that's what the Grunch is based on. But anyway, moving on. I have a little something different for you guys today. I have a little bit of true crime. You know, we don't always do true crime, but we like to sprinkle it in there every now and again. So today I have a mystery.
I was just gonna say they're usually mysteries. So,
Yes.
you know.
And you know what? I really need to stop doing mysteries. I get sucked down loopholes of mysteries, and then I'm just like, I don't have an answer, and I'm angry every single time.
Right.
But here we are yet again. I have another mystery for you. So today I have the mystery of. Now this is a working title, but it's the mystery of the disappearance of Brian Schaffer.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's too much. Basically, it's the disappearance of Brian Schaffer.
Yeah.
But it's a mystery because we have no idea what happened to him. Dun dun dun. So
I'm ready. I'm ready to like make up some theories.
Yes. Here. Oh, there are many theories. So I'm very excited. Okay. So I'll just get right into it. Brian Schaffer was born on February 25th, 1979, which I am just now looking at the calendar, and as we are recording this, tomorrow is his birthday.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wait, mine, the Grunch's birthday, is the day before the episode comes out.
Okay, that's really weird. Okay.
And, oh my god.
Wow. Okay, sorry, I just now realized that as I said it out loud. So yeah, anyway, Brian... He was an American medical student at Ohio State University. So, you know, he was like thriving, this man, you know, chilling. He was just vibing. When he was in med school, he started dating another medical student named Alexis Wagner.
Okay.
And so all of their friends, actually, you know, they had a big mutual group of friends that were all like doctors. So like they were all really smart. And anyways, all of his friends thought that Brian, was planning on proposing to Alexis on their spring break trip that they had coming up. And they had planned, it was just going to be them two going to Miami, which, so fun.
I've still never been. I know you guys, you took a trip and I was invited, but I didn't go.
Yes, I went to Miami on spring break and it was very fun. So yeah. I would recommend. We'll have to go to Miami. So let me see. Now I done lost my spot. Okay, found it. So one fun fact about Brian is that even though he was literally going to school to be a doctor, he told all of his friends that his real ambition in life was to start a band playing music like Jimmy Buffett. And I just wanted to include that because that's a vibe, you know?
Wait, that's actually amazing.
No, like that's amazing. Like I feel like I would vibe so hard with Brian.
Right.
Like, he was just a doctor, but he just wanted to be Jimmy Buffett. Me if I ever heard anything in my life. Except for I'm not a doctor at all. Not even close. So, anyways, so, on the night of March 31st, 2006, Friday classes at Ohio State University had just ended, and it was the start of spring break. So, you know, they were lit. They were like, it's break, let's go party. So, but before the party, Brian was like, I'll go out to dinner with my dad, you know, have a good, nice dinner, which is very wholesome. And Brian's dad later said that he seemed tired from having pulled like all-nighters the past week for studying for his exams. Makes perfect sense to me. I did the same thing in college. So, allegedly, Brian's dad said that he had a really bad feeling about Brian going out with his friends that night, but he never said anything to Brian.
Oh, wow.
So that's interesting.
Just because he was tired?
Foreshadowing there. He didn't say, no, not because he was tired. He just said, like, it was just a completely different thought. Like, he just had a bad feeling. Because Brian was talking to him about, like, they were going to go out on the town to celebrate spring break. And he was like, no, I don't think you should. And Brian was like, well, I am, because life.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was, you know, that I would be the same way. So, after dinner, Brian went out with his friends to celebrate. And they went to this place. Now, this fact is literally why I wanted to do this. Okay, so bad. They went to this place called the Ugly Tuna Saloona. And I love that name.
My God. Wait.
Like, excuse me? Ugly Tuna Saloona? Like, I'm ready to tattoo that on my body.
Like, we need to go.
I'm saying we definitely need to go. So,
Just because of the name alone. Like,
right.
that's
Right.
amazing.
Exactly. Tragically, the Ugly Tuna Saloona is closed now.
Oh, no.
So we can't go. I know, I didn't want to burst your bubble immediately, but sorry.
We can open one.
We sure can. We sure can. So, Brian and his friends, they're just chilling at the Ugly Tuna Saloona having fun. And the records show that Brian had called his girlfriend Alexis to talk to her to see if she had made it home to like her family after class. So their plan was they were going to spend half of spring break with their families and then the second half of the break in Miami, just them. So,
Oh.
which is so cute, I know. So, Alexis had went to go see her family and Brian was just, chilling with his dad, hanging with his friends. And so, as I said, they were at the Ugly Tuna Saloona partying. And
How many times are you going to say
I'm going to
that?
say it as many times as I can because I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too. So.
But eventually later in the night, all of his friends, they got separated. Some went home, some went to other bars, whatever. They all just ended up hopping around doing whatever they wanted. But they all met back up at the Ugly Tuna Saloona for one last round together at the end of the night. And while so it was, I never mentioned this, but he was out with 3 of his friends. So there was 4 of them total. And while the 3 were there at the bar, Brian ended up like somehow, I don't know how this happened, but he got up from the bar and slipped away from them without saying anything.
Oh.
And his friends never saw him again ever. So that's already weird. Like that he was just there for the last drink and then boom, bam, gone. Like, what? Where'd he go? Yeah. So, but that was not the last time he was ever seen because a security camera on the entrance of the bar actually recorded Brian outside of the bar right before 2 a.m. talking to 2 women, like on the street, like right outside the bar.
That's weird.
It's weird, right? And like he hadn't really been seen with 2 women before that on any cameras, but he had been bar hopping, so who knows? And also he could have just been like talking to them outside,
Mm-hmm.
Bars be like that. But this actually was the last time that Brian Schaffer was ever seen again. Was on this camera in front of the bar. So, yeah. The 2 friends, 2 of the friends, not the 2 of them that Brian was out with, obviously tried to get in contact with him. They called him countless times. They actually ended up like staying as late as they could at the bar just because they thought he was coming back. Like, who knows?
That's
like, they
so weird.
thought he was just going to the bathroom or something. Like,
yeah, like if you were gonna leave, why did you not tell your friends?
Exactly. Or even if something happened, like text him, like, hey, I got sick, like I'm leaving, or I don't know, anything. Like it was just weird that he never came back, and that was like completely out of character for him. So anyway, 2 of them stayed as late as they could, and eventually the bar closed, so they had no choice but to leave. So they left, and because they couldn't be in the bar, they were like, well, we're not going home because like, what if he comes back? I don't know. And they had been drinking, so like, maybe he was just messed up, So his friends waited outside of the bar, thinking he would come back. And after waiting hours and hours, he didn't come back. They're like, okay, we'll go home and we'll come back tomorrow and try again. And of course, they just assumed that he went home or, lost his phone, met somebody. I mean, he had a girlfriend, but who knows what happens, Anything could have happened. So they were like, he's fine. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Which, in my opinion, never think that. Okay? Never leave your friends. If something seems weird, it probably is. So,
see, I was gonna say they were such good friends for like staying, but then why would you not go to his house?
It's a solid point.
Like, if you were gonna stay the whole night waiting for him and then he didn't show up, like, why would you not go to his house then?
That's a good point. I don't know. But what they didn't know is that as the weekend passed, they never heard from him, but neither did Alexis, neither did his dad. Nobody did. So at this point, no one had heard from Brian for like 12 hours. So obviously everybody got really worried. But still, they were like, I mean, he could just be really hungover somewhere. Like, he had been drinking for hours. Like, it's weird, but it's really not horribly weird. I don't know. I get why they weren't trying to panic. They were trying to make sense of it all, but
Yeah, because, like, you don't want to overreact.
yeah.
Because then, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
You
guess
don't want to make...
it is probably better to overreact, but, like, in this situation, you're probably like, well, I mean, he'll turn up.
Exactly.
You don't want to
Yeah.
start a fuss for no reason.
Exactly. So, the weekend passes, and it's now Monday morning. So he went missing like really late Friday night, like early Saturday morning, like a.m. And it's Monday, and this is when we know for a fact that something is wrong because Brian missed his flight to Miami, and he would not have missed his flight to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would he have missed his flight to Miami? He was going to propose to his girlfriend in Miami.
Yeah.
So that morning, a missing persons police report was made for him, and they start the investigation to try to find my man's Brian. So where do they start? Obviously, at the ugly Tuna Saloona. I'm
Yeah,
really
true.
not making fun of it, but it's just like the only light in this dark, dark tunnel.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, but also, let me just say, I feel like my parents, if I was gone for like a day, they would like
girl,
say something. Like,
100%.
I was just thinking about his friends not calling anybody, but like his parents didn't. I don't
Honestly,
know.
no, honestly, even his friends. Like, Savannah, if I didn't hear from you in the whole day, I would be like, something is wrong. Something is mad wrong.
Yeah.
And like, I remember in college, I didn't text my mom. Like, yes, I was underage drinking. Don't do that. But like, I didn't text my mom for like one day. And she was absolutely freaked out. Like, calling me. She was like, Taylor, don't ever not answer me. And I was like, girl, calm down. But now
Yeah.
I see, like, now I'm older. I'm like, okay, that was horrible. Like, you know, answer your parents. But
Okay, but the fact was he was staying at home with his parents.
no, I mean, he was on his own. Like, he wasn't at his parents' house. They lived in the same city.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he was like hanging out with his
I mean, he was
family
like, that was his
for.
plan.
Okay.
But they just went to dinner, him and his dad.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, he was like in medical school, so he was like older, like, you know, he had his own place, but they lived in the
Yeah.
same city. So,
Okay.
the police are at the ugly Tuna Saloona, and this area of town actually has a really high crime rate, which is actually why the bar had security cameras installed to begin with. So that's already not good. The police are like, okay, you know, this is a really high crime area of town. Something could have gone wrong. And also the video. The video is a little bit sus of him talking to the two women. So the police describe it as, it looks like he's saying goodbye to these women as if he knew them. So that's weird because who are they? We never
Yeah.
figured out. And actually, the women were brought in and questioned, but they were never suspects and said, like, you know, they didn't really know him. So no answers there.
That's so weird.
And I'm like, girl, why weren't they hounded more? Like, they were the last people to see him that we know of. So that's weird too. And the last shot that the camera got of Brian was him walking off the camera, but he was actually walking towards the bar as if he was going to go back in. But his friends never saw him. Nobody else ever saw him go back in. So where did he go? Like, where did he go? There's like one little blind spot of the camera that leads into the bar, and he's never seen again.
That's so weird. He like just vanished.
Vanished. Completely vanished. Like,
Oh my god.
so weird. So at this point, police are like, okay, well, it's possible that he could have changed clothes or avoided the other cameras that were like in the area, you know. But after that video, no other cameras ever caught him. So
See, they said it's possible he changed clothes. I guess so, but why would he do that?
Right. But like, where's the evidence of that? And so the fact that he's not on any other cameras after that is very bad. Okay. And also, if he changed clothes, you would still be able to see if it was him. Like, probably.
Right.
So I don't even know if I ever mentioned this, but we're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't remember.
I said we were at Ohio State University. I don't know. I just assume people know that that's in there. But regardless,
Okay.
we're in Cleveland, and that Cleveland, Ohio actually has the most security cameras out of any city in Ohio. So it's not normal that he wasn't seen on any more cameras after that. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's up in the air. We're like, what happened? So the police search all around the bar. They search garbage cans, alleyways, everything they could find. Anything to find any kind of evidence. Missing person posters were posted literally everywhere. Everybody was trying to find Brian. Like, it was weird. It was this, I mean, come on. It was a white 20-something male medical student who just went missing out of the blue. Obviously, people are going to care. Like, sus. So, from all the evidence that was uncovered, literally nothing seemed to be wrong. Like, it just looks like maybe he was unhappy with his life and he just wanted to move away. So that was a theory of the police.
Okay, but how is he unhappy with his life? He seems like he wasn't. He's about to go to Miami
I mean, yeah,
with his
right?
girlfriend. Like,
Exactly.
what?
Like, he's halfway through medical school. Like, he has a girlfriend that he's about to propose to, like, literally in a couple days. Like, I don't know.
That's
But
so
then
weird.
also some people argue, like, maybe he didn't want to marry her. And maybe he did say he wanted to be like Jimmy Buffett. So maybe he, like, was trying to ditch medical school, but, like, was afraid of his family. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of see both ways, honestly. But the thing is that there was no really evidence to support that this man wanted out of his relationship and wanted out of his life. So,
And if he was trying to just randomly be like Jimmy Buffett and like leave his life behind, how are you gonna get famous and then
that's a good
people would
point.
recognize
That's a
you?
good point. There we go. So, you know, at this point, the police are stumped. They were like, honestly, we have no idea. And so they look into a little bit more of the history of Brian's life and discover that Brian's mom had actually died very recently, up to when he went missing. And so some people theorize that maybe he decided to go away for a little bit to like grieve alone, like grieve his mom,
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm like, maybe, but like, where did he go? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure like that was hard, but like, there's no evidence of that either.
See, it also suddenly makes sense why nobody did the missing persons right away because his mom probably would have.
Right, right. There you go. There
Like,
you go.
Loki,
And
it's always
also,
the
you
mom.
think
Come on.
like, okay, because his mom died so soon, like everybody's probably still grieving. They're not really thinking. Like they're probably just like Brian's sad. Like maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Like maybe he got
Yeah.
so drunk because he was sad. You know, like I don't know. Things just make sense of why people are like not too worried at first. So let's move on to Brian's dad. So Brian's dad's name is Randy. And obviously at this point, Randy's had like the worst year ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the mom dies, Brian's missing. He's lost his wife and his son at this point. So he was like, I'm gonna find Brian on my own. So obviously he like gets people together, joins the searches, whatever. But he was like, nope, need more than that. So Randy went to visit a psychic. And the psychic told him that Brian's body was in the water near a bridge pier. And so he was like, okay. So he took this information and tried to put together like a little search like of his own, like with his just some friends and family. So because he didn't, I guess he was like embarrassed to take it to the police that he like went to a psychic, and that's how, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's probably like, they're not going to take me seriously.
100%. So
Yeah.
this is like a whole other story, literally a whole nother episode, just kind of like yours story.
Yeah.
But the fact that the psychic said that his body was near water and a bridge led Randy and the people, not the people, the police, to believe that Brian actually might have been a victim of the smiley face killer, who was a prominent murderer in Cleveland at the time.
I think I've heard of that before, but I don't really remember too much about
For
it.
sure. So it's like super popular, super like infamous serial killer, the smiley face killer. So basically this, I don't think he was ever caught, the smiley face killer,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy, but basically he would kill people, dump their bodies in, like, near the bridge and then paint a smiley face on the bridge to, like,
Okay.
mark its spot of the body. So, um, it is a possibility, I guess, that Brian was a victim of the smiley face killer. But the likelihood of that is not good because this is really crazy. He would have been the only victim of the smiley face killer that was never found.
Oh.
Because,
What?
like, kind of the smiley face killer's, like, MO was that he wanted the bodies to be found because,
Yeah.
you know, like, he would put the smiley face, like, he was making it blatant that he was a killer. And, like, you know, so people were like, I don't think, like, unless he was completely going, like, off the rails, like, why would he not do the same thing as the rest of his victims? Which, that makes me believe that he was absolutely nothing to do with the smiley face killer at all.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, that's a really good reason why. Like,
definitely
or maybe he like just accidentally,
killed him.
like you said it was near a bridge, right?
Well,
Like what if he got taken away by the water and then
the only reason the bridge was ever brought up was from the psychic.
yeah. So what if he was by the bridge?
Oh, well, yeah, and just, like, fell over. I mean, that's a good point.
And then like it just accidentally you know, was put somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the killer put the body somewhere, and then, like, the tide comes up or something.
I got you. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. But I just feel like
Yeah.
the odds of that, and for him to be the only, like, there were multiple, like, a ton of victims of this murder.
Yeah.
Like, for him to be the only body, and also, like, Brian's body or him in general has still never been found. Like, I think we
Yeah,
would have
true.
probably found him by now if it was the smiley face killer. Maybe not, but who knows? But that was enough information for the police to say that this was not the smiley face killer.
Yeah, okay.
So, that actually took a lot of time for them to determine that because for a minute they were really set on that's what happened to him. But at this point, we're back to square one with no answers. So that's not good. So we're going to move a little bit into the future, 2 years, to September 2008. And Brian's dad, Randy, was out in his yard. There was, like, this huge windstorm, and he was just cleaning up debris, like, that was in his yard. And really tragically, a tree in his yard fell on him and killed him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this family has really been going through it.
Yeah, like that's
It
devastating.
really is. So, to make it even worse, after his death, people started questioning him, which, in my opinion, is extremely messed up because why did they wait 2 years until he couldn't defend himself to start questioning him?
Right. Like I don't think he would do like I guess I don't really know anything
Yeah.
about him, but like you can't just make those accusations just for no reason.
That's what I'm saying. Like, now that he's gone, like, don't say he did that now. That's messed up. So, I mean, obviously, like, the police went into that too, and they were like, I mean, he wasn't nearly, not even close to, like, the last person to see Brian, but he did see Brian, like, that day. So, like, maybe, but all those trails ended in nothing either. They were like, no, Randy did not kill Brian or anything to Brian. So they never found anything with that either. And I really, really don't think Randy had anything to do with it. I mean,
Yeah.
why would he? You know?
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like you're
Exactly.
right. Like they're both grieving the mother. Like why
Exactly.
would
Like, he's not going to do anything to him. So fast forward a little bit more, 2014, Columbus police announced that they, like, so this is 2014. This is 12 years after he disappeared. And the Columbus police announced that they still got at least 2 tips a month on Brian's whereabouts. 12 years
my
later.
God.
And they're still getting
What?
at least 2 tips a month. So that's crazy. And obviously none of these have followed through for any information. Fast forwarding a little bit more to 2019, an image of a homeless man in Mexico appeared online, and people started speculating that it could be Brian because apparently it, like, really looked like him. I mean, what they assumed he would look like, I guess. But the FBI actually took this photo and like did like this huge analysis on it, and specifically like on the person's in the photos like facial structures, and they were actually able to determine that it was not a match for Brian, which
Okay.
I just want to say that's really cool technology, but
Yeah, it is.
yeah, sad that it wasn't him. So the latest that has happened in Brian's case is that in March of 2021, the Ohio State Bureau of Investigation released an age-progressed photo of what Brian would have looked like today at the age of about to be 43 tomorrow, almost 15 years after his disappearance. So that's all we know about Brian Schaffer and what happened to him. But what do you think? Do you think that he was killed? Do you think he's alive today?
I don't know.
Because he could be. He could only be 43. Like, it's not... I mean, personally, I'm just saying I don't see any new Jimmy Buffetts out there.
Yeah, maybe he was waiting all this time, so he's like, okay, they don't like
They
they don't know
suspect
what
it's
I
me.
look like now.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not gonna suspect it as much.
Maybe.
Um,
I personally, my own type of theory, I kind of feel like maybe one of those two girls that he was talking to had a boyfriend and saw him talking to them, and then, you know, they were drunk outside of this bar, got into a bar fight, maybe something accidentally happened, and they got rid of him.
yeah.
I really personally don't feel like Brian is alive. So,
Yeah. I know, because I don't know why he would want to leave his life.
right, and like nothing, all of like the investigation, nothing really led to like anything of him wanting. And I mean, maybe he was just like a really good like hider of those things. But like,
Yeah.
I just don't think so. I just really don't think so. I feel like something horrible happened to him. He had such a great life path ahead of him. But then at the same time, that makes me think like it looked perfect on the outside, but like it's not always
Yeah.
how it seems. I don't
And
know.
and you got to think, like, if somebody did do something to him, they must have been really good to not leave
Yeah.
any clues.
I mean, that's facts. That's straight up facts.
Like,
Because-
how? Because there's always some sort of clue left. Like, there's nothing. He just, like, vanished.
He's gone. Right. But then also, like, that makes me think, like, if he is still alive, he must be a genius, because how have we not found him?
Right.
Especially
Exactly.
today. All the cameras we have today. Like, I just feel like there's no way unless he's living underground somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or, I mean, this is, like, really going for it. But,
Out
like,
there.
what if he had, like, facial reconstruction?
I mean, listen, it's been done. It's been done before.
Like, people get nose jobs. Like,
I mean,
you
people
can,
get
you know.
whole face transplants. Like,
Yeah.
bad criminals, stuff like that. Like, it's definitely possible. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I feel like, though, just like a nose job or something would be enough for people to be like, oh no, that's not him.
I mean, yeah, if it was a good enough nose job to really
Just
make him
'cause,
look
like,
different.
Because people go by that. Like, even when you said they aged him up in a picture,
Yeah.
or like they did they had a picture of like the homeless guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that I feel like what was different about them? Was it just the nose? Was it just this? Like, I feel like if
Well,
people are saying they look so similar, like they could say that about anybody, and it could just be like something really small that was changed, and
It's
they're
true.
like, oh, it's not him.
it's definitely true. Definitely true. What I know, at least from my personal studies in forensic science and facial, like, recognition software, at least, because I have actually used the FBI's facial database before, which is crazy
Oh, wow.
to even
Fancy.
say, but I know. Flips hair. There's like a lot. Actually, it's not just the nose, as it would. I mean, obviously, with your eyes, the nose is what you are drawn to most, but it can go down to like eye shape, like nose shape, obviously, like brow bones, cheekbones. Everything
But
is so.
yeah.
Everything is so important to like the facial structure. So like I can see how they can rule it out. But like if he did get a whole face transplant, like a whole
Yeah.
done, like how would they know? How would they know?
Right.
And also, I haven't seen the picture of this man that they're talking about. Who knows how clear it is?
Yeah.
Who
true.
knows if it's like good? I mean, it was in 2014, so I assume it was at least, probably on an iPhone. But
I don't know. This is a weird one because it's like,
I know.
either way, whoever did this is like, they really...
It literally doesn't matter what happened. Whoever did it was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I hate to say it like that because it probably, like, I really do feel like something really bad happened to him.
Yeah.
But...
Or they're just really lucky.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Brian, if you're out there, I would give you $5 if you just came to me first.
He's like, I'm coming out of hiding just
For Taylor. Yeah, just for Taylor.
No, but like really, I don't know.
I don't know. Man, I don't know. This case, it really stumped me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like normally when I cover mysteries, I have at least some sort of a way to feel one way or the other. This way, I just don't know. Like, it really could be either. Like, Brian could be listening to this podcast right now, and we have no idea. Brian, if you're out there, let me know.
Just, let us know somehow.
Send an email. I won't tell anybody.
I want to say that, like, maybe they just couldn't find anything left behind at the scene because they waited so long.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's like a big issue. Like, I mean, that was 3 days. And if you think about it, he was at the bar on Friday. That means a whole nother Saturday night went by. Who knows how many people were in that bar Saturday night, like, to have, like, destroyed evidence that could have been there. And also, like, I don't want to, don't look at me, but I'm just thinking, like, could his friends have had something to do with it?
I was kind of thinking that too. Like, you don't want to think that either.
Of course I don't want to think that, but I'm just like, I feel like it's weird that as soon as, first of all, I just think it's weird in general that they didn't see him get up from the table.
And I was thinking when you said they waited there all night, it's like, was that their alibi that they were waiting at the bar all night?
Okay, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Who knows? Who knows? And I didn't do that much research on them, so I don't even know, like, who they even are at all. But, I mean, that's a theory. That's weird because it's a little bit weird to me. Also, I would just never leave my friend. I would never be satisfied enough if you were just gone from a bar. First of all, I don't even care if you were in the bathroom. I'd call the police.
Oh my God.
So, like, I'm not risking anything.
I mean,
I guess
risking
that's
this.
good for me.
Of course, yeah, it's good for you. Yeah, I'm not risking anything happening to anybody that I know. So I would never have waited. But also, I mean, it was 2006. We've came a long way, even though that's not that long ago. It kind of is. So, actually, if you really round, it's almost 20 years. So, that's actually disgusting to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the mystery of the disappearance of Brian Schaffer.
Yeah, you're right. That is a long name of the story.
I mean, what else do I title it? I don't know.
No, yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know.
Well,
but there will be pictures of Brian on our Instagram, so please go check them out. If you see anybody that looks like Brian, please let me know, because I'm really trying to see if Brian's out there.
Yeah, and also, I guess, let the authorities know.
Definitely call the Cleveland police first before you call me. Or honestly, you call me. I'll call the police for you.
Right.
Yeah.
This episode honestly gives me, and that's why we drink vibes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to them, because I don't normally do true crime, but that's really what this felt like today.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm Christine.
I know. We I don't know. I feel like we've definitely based our show off of theirs a little bit. 100%. So like, I am glad that we got to have their vibe for a little bit.
It was a good vibe. It was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, people actually told me to cover this story. So if you have any other stories that you want to hear, let me know. Shoot us an email, a DM, anything really.
I know, because we're always looking for something.
Oh yeah, we do stories every week in case you didn't know. So, anyways, that's all I have for you guys this week. Other than to please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're listening on Spotify, answer the poll /question, because those are fun. And we love reading the responses to those. So
yes, definitely.
Anyways, that's all for me. I guess I will see you guys next week.
Yeah. Cue the music.